moneysavingexpert.com, and I just wanted to give you a couple of minutes of quick analysis about what the CMA report for energy is likely to mean. Big picture is, it doesn't mean more people are going to get cheaper prices. And in fact, in some ways, we finally got an honest report. For years, we've had politicians trying to talk rhetoric about bringing prices down, and everyone must be moved to the cheapest price, and we can only have 4 tariffs, which was the previous rule. Well, that's all very well and good, but on the other hand, they say we want a competitive market. We want people to switch, and those two do not gel together. If you're going to embrace market competition, which seems to be the prevailing wind here, then what you have to admit is the only way you're going to encourage people to switch is some people pay a lot, some people pay less, and you encourage those who are paying a lot to pay less. So in fact, what this report is doing is actually likely to increase the differentiation on normal dual fuel tariffs between the cheapest and the most expensive. How are they doing that? Well, they're getting rid of the 4 tariffs rules. Now, energy companies will be able to have as many tariffs as they want, so they can target specific individuals with discounts. Price comparison sites are going to have exclusive deals that they can offer, as well as the collective switches that we've seen. And we're generally going to start to see a loosening up of the way it all works. Now, what they're going to do to protect the people who never switch, the concept is a database. If you haven't switched in 3 years, which means you're languishing on an old, horrible tariff, typically paying currently over £300 a year more than you need to, which is why, if you're listening to this and you're one of the 70% on a standard tariff, please go to the Cheap Energy Club, put your details in, and switch and save yourself a shed load of cash. But as I say, they're going to have a database of people who haven't switched for 3 years, and then other companies, not just the one you're with, will be able to email you and say, we want to offer you a cheaper deal. Sounds good. The worry is, though, if lots of people do it, it'll feel like spam and the message will be lost in the shouting. The place where the philosophy has worked slightly differently, though, is in the prepayment market. Now, the roughly 16% of people who are on prepaid tariffs, key or card meters, they're already paying substantially more, and they tend to include some of the most vulnerable and the poorest in society. So what the CMA is proposing there is a cap, a limit on the amount that they can pay. Now, that still won't bring people down in line to the most competitive tariffs on the market, but they're roughly estimating it'll mean 300 million combined off bills. So it'll be a backstop, if you like. If you can't do anything about your tariff and you're on prepay, they won't allow you to pay too much more. But they've ruled out doing that on the mainstream market because they're embracing competition. What else are we seeing? Well, price comparisons are going to be allowed more data. Obviously, Money Saving Experts Cheap Energy Club is one, so I'm slightly party pre to that. I think that is a good thing, though. What happens and what tends to happen is people, when they go to price comparison sites, the difficulty they have is they don't know their usage and they don't know the name of their tariff. So anything that makes that easier, so you can just give your name and address, and a price comparison site can get your data without you having to know it because it's so confusing, should tend to improve the marketplace. There are lots more things in the CMA report, but I think that tends to be the big one. For prepaid customers, there will be a backstop cap to prevent you paying too much. For everybody else, it's a question of embrace competition or you'll be fined hundreds of pounds a year in paying more for apathy.